So earlier this week, I made a video about how to buy a used Tesla and what you should be looking for. But then I got to thinking, now I'm wondering if I should make a video, and I should, about how to sell your used Tesla. Because once again, much like with buying Tesla, this is pretty unique, I think, specifically to Teslas and in general electric vehicles. Now, there are some things that are just the same as for all cars. For example, I'm assuming that you know that you should post them online, and it's probably one of the best ways to sell the car. Definitely post it on Auto Trader, even though you have to pay a small fee. Post it on Craigslist, it's free. And if you're willing to deal with eBay and maybe shipping your car and so forth, you can also post it on eBay. So figure out which method is good for you. You will be bothered by phone calls and emails, so figure out which way you want to communicate, but definitely take care of it right up front. Decide on types of different websites where you want to advertise your car. Also, titles are very important. You want to jam as much information in your title as possible, but still make it easy to read and make sure all of the important keywords are there. For example, you want to say Tesla Model S, then put a year next to it. If it has an autopilot or warranty, definitely put it right in the title. So make sure that all of the best features that are selling points of your particular car are right there in the title. First, people want to see if they even want to click on your ad, and secondly, they're also going to search with different keywords, and you want to make sure that your ad comes up when they search for those keywords or phrases. And of course, pictures. Take a lot of pictures. The more pictures you take, the better potential buyer feels. And it's not like they've never seen Model S in that particular color. You just want to make sure that they get to see the one that could possibly be theirs. And if there are little small issues with a car, definitely take a closer shot of them. If there's a scratch or a ding or a tear on a seat, make sure to zoom in and take a good picture of it. First, you don't want to waste your time when somebody comes in and says, "Oh, there's a scratch here, I'll give you $5 grand less," right? You want to disclose everything up front, and you also want to appear that you are an honest seller and disclose all of the things that are possibly could be an issue with a car right there and post them in your pictures. So make sure to do that. Now, I picked also 5 different things that are kind of unique to selling your Tesla, and so here they are. Number 1 is, and it's one of the most important ones, make sure that you mention what the transferable perks are. For example, supercharger, it's a big deal. Starting 2017, Teslas are no longer come with a free supercharging. It's only free for the first 1,000 miles, and after that you have to pay. But if you buy a used one made before 2017, supercharging, at least at this point, is transferable. So that's a big deal, especially for those people who are planning to travel. Definitely mention that. Another thing is warranty. If you have a regular warranty, it's definitely transferable. But if you bought an extended warranty, make sure that it is also transferable, because a lot of times it is, but sometimes it is not, depending on Tesla's policies. That could also change. I just don't want to state them in a video in case if they change in the future. And so just make sure that anything that's transferable, by the way, internet connection is another thing, right? It's free until a certain point. You want to make sure that if it is free and transferable, you want to make sure that a buyer knows about it, because it ups the value of your car. Secondly, battery size. Definitely battery size is important. Whoever is buying it, that they most likely know that it is one of the most expensive parts of the car and one of the best features of the car. So if you have a smaller battery, you can still sell it as hey, it still has 160 miles to go, but at the same time, you know that the price will be cheaper of that type of car, and you can compete on price level better with other cars. So you can, market it as more affordable Model S. However, if you have a larger battery, then market it that way. People know that they will have to pay more, but market the fact that the car can go much further on that charge. And as a matter of fact, with bigger Tesla batteries, there's still no other car in the market that can even get close to that range. So that's a huge plus. Number 3, try to appeal to Model 3 reservation holders. People who are looking for Model 3, they are excited, but they know they have to wait 2, 3, maybe 4 years. And they also know they're probably going to end up spending about $45,000, maybe 40, but at the same time, a lot of these used Teslas are getting close to that price, and I'm sure yours is probably somewhere around that number. And so you want to kind of appeal to them and saying, hey, listen, you can wait for another 3 years, or you can buy a Tesla, a Model S, for the same price that has this many miles. And a lot of people actually do buy into that fact, so you can actually get them to really look into buying your car, even though they were kind of hoping for a Model 3. And they can still buy Model 3 by the time it comes out. It's just they're probably going to get 2 or 3 years out of this car that you're selling. Number 4. So one of the things that you usually get when you buy a brand new Tesla is you get a rebate. Usually it's $7,500 from the federal rebate, and now when you have to wait for until your next tax return, unless you're leasing it, then it's immediate. But if you're buying it, you have to wait for it. And there's also a state rebate. So for example, state of California will send you a check of $2,500. Different states, it varies. But those rebates you kind of have to wait for and do paperwork and so forth. But your car already has everything calculated in, so people don't have to worry about it, including the carpool stickers. You know, applying for carpool stickers, you know, is a process, and you have to wait for a month or 2. Yours already has them, so they can just go into carpool lane as soon as they take ownership of your car, and that is a big deal because people just want instant gratification, and you are giving it to them, where brand new Teslas are not. And lastly, and I think this goes for all cars, but I think Tesla has an edge on this, because I always say, listen, your car should come with a story, right? People want to know this car was your baby, that you took care of it, that it was your companion, you know, and everybody kind of has a story about their car. Some of us bought it because we were really behind this whole green energy movement. Some of us bought it because it was an anniversary present or a birthday present and so forth, and we had some great memories. I know it technically doesn't have anything to do with the business transaction you're just about to create, but actually it does. People do want to hear a story. People want to feel like that even though they're buying something used, it comes with a character, and it comes from the owner who was passionate about owning this car as well. And definitely make sure that the buyer knows the reason why you're selling the car. You never want to say, well, I'm tired of bringing it back to the dealership for, you know, to get it fixed. I mean, even though it's the truth, you might want to say that, you know, I decided to go for a different model or just for a different car overall. You want to make sure that, you know, the buyer feels good about this car, that is not junk to you anymore, right? You still want to let the buyer know that you still value it. It's just no longer right for you or for your situation, and they can respect that because their situation is different. So I think if you stick to those 5 things, you should be pretty successful in selling your Model S or Model X for that matter. I don't know how many people actually want to sell them at this point because they're pretty new. So good luck with that, and I hope your next car is also a Tesla.